Hello, treasure hunters. Welcome back to our English channel. I'm so glad you're here, because today we are going on a real treasure hunt, except the treasure isn't gold or jewels. It's hidden inside the words of a poem. If you've ever read a poem and felt something, maybe a chill, a smile, or a lump in your throat, that feeling didn't happen by accident. A poet placed it there on purpose, using special tools. Today, we're going to learn the names of those tools, and then use them to dig into a poem written by our very own national hero, Jose Rizal. Grab a pen and paper, because this lesson works best when you follow along and even write a few things down. Ready? Let's begin. Here's what we're calling today's lesson: Poetry, Literary Devices. And I love the subtitle the writers gave it. Before we dive in, let's look at where we're headed today. I want you to know exactly what you're working toward, because that makes everything easier to follow. Objective 1. Recall. We'll bring back what we already know about poetry from our last lesson. Objective 2. Identify. We're going to identify and explain common literary devices used in poetry. There are 10 of them today. Objective 3. Analyze. We will analyze Jose Rizal's poem, a poem that has no title, and dig for the truths and life lessons hiding inside it. And Objective 4. Create. You will create your own poetry one-pager using the very devices you learned today. Recall, identify, analyze, create. Keep those 4 words in mind. They're basically today's roadmap. Let's warm up our minds first. In our original classroom activity, this is called Mind Mingle. Normally, you'd pair up with a classmate and talk. Since we're together through this screen, here's how we'll do our own version. I want you to think back to our last lesson on poetry. What do you remember? Maybe you remember what a stanza is, or what makes something a poem instead of just a sentence broken into lines. Take a moment. Really pause the video right now for about 30 seconds, and think of at least one thing you remember about poetry. Got it? Good. Now, here's your reflection chart, the same one from the slide. First, my best moment. Think of one task about poetry that you did well in before. Second, I could do better here. Think of one task that was a challenge for you. And here's a thought I want you to sit with for a second. Poetry is a treasure island, and your keen mind and sharp eyes are needed to spot these precious gems. Share your thoughts, young adventurers of learning. I really believe that. A poem looks like ordinary words on a page, but underneath, there's always something valuable waiting to be found. An idea, a feeling, a lesson about life. Here are 3 questions I want you to think about, and I'll give you a moment after each one. First, do you agree that poems are like treasure islands filled with precious gems? Why or why not? Second, why does a reader need a keen mind and sharp eyes to spot these precious gems? And third, how would you describe your journey so far in learning poetry? There's no wrong answer here. Time for a quick game before we go further. I'm going to show you a scrambled word and its definition. Your job is to unscramble it. Ready? Word 1. Yeragmi. The clue. Descriptive language that appeals to the senses. 3, 2, 1. It's imagery. Word 2. Ntoe. The clue. The poet's attitude toward the subject, audience, or poem. 3, 2, 1. It's tone. Word 3. Doom. The clue. The overall atmosphere or emotional feeling of a poem. 3, 2, 1. It's mood. Word 4. Hrym. The clue. Repetition of similar sounds at the end of lines. 3, 2, 1. It's rhyme. And word 5. Milise. The clue. A comparison of 2 unlike things using like or as. 3, 2, 1. It's simile. How many did you get? Comment your score below. So what exactly are literary devices? Literary devices are the special tools poets use to add depth, feeling, and vivid pictures to their writing. They make a poem more meaningful, more memorable, and more beautiful to read. Think of a poet like a carpenter, and each literary device is a different tool in the toolbox. One tool paints a picture, another tool creates a sound, another tool stirs an emotion. Today we're exploring 10 of these tools: imagery, simile, metaphor, personification, symbolism, rhyme, alliteration, tone, mood, and hyperbole and onomatopoeia. That's a lot, I know, but we're going to take them 2 at a time, with clear examples for each, so by the end you'll recognize every single one. Let's begin with our first 2 devices. First, imagery. Imagery is descriptive language that appeals to the 5 senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch, creating a vivid picture in the reader's mind. Listen to this example. The scent of fresh rain on the earth. Notice how you can almost smell it? That's imagery at work. It doesn't just tell you it rained, it makes you experience the rain. Next, simile. A simile is a comparison between 2 unlike things, using the words like or as. Here's our example. Her smile was as bright as the sun. A smile and the sun are two very different things, but the word as links them together, and suddenly we understand exactly how radiant that smile is. Quick challenge for you. Can you think of your own simile using like or as? Our next two devices go a little deeper. Metaphor is a direct comparison between two unlike things that suggests a shared quality, without using like or as. Our example, time is a thief. Time isn't literally a person who steals things, but this metaphor makes us feel how time quietly takes moments away from us. That's the power of a metaphor. It doesn't compare, it becomes. Then we have personification, giving human qualities or actions to non-human objects, animals, or ideas. Example, the wind whispered through the trees. Wind can't actually whisper. Whispering is something only people do, but giving the wind that human action makes the scene feel alive and gentle. The difference. A simile says something is like another thing. A metaphor says something is another thing. Now we move from comparisons to meaning and sound. Symbolism is using an object, color, or element to represent a deeper meaning or idea beyond its literal sense. Our example, a dove symbolizes peace. A dove is just a bird, but across many cultures, we've agreed that it represents something bigger. Peace, calm, hope. Next is rhyme, the repetition of similar sounds, usually at the end of lines. Common patterns include AABB, ABAB, and ABCB. And here's something exciting. We're going to see rhyme in action very soon, because in Jose Rizal's poem, the line ending in "the north is bound" rhymes with the line ending in "I found." Keep that pair in your ear. We'll come back to it when we read the full poem later in this lesson. Let's tackle two devices about style and attitude. Alliteration is the repetition of the same initial consonant sound in a series of nearby words. You've probably heard this tongue twister before. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Say that 5 times fast. Notice how almost every word starts with that same P sound. That repetition is alliteration, and poets use it to make lines catchy and musical. Then we have tone, the poet's attitude or emotional expression toward the subject, audience, or the poem itself. Tone can be playful, serious, nostalgic, hopeful, and more. Here's an example. A poem addressed to God, filled with gratitude, has a reverent, thankful tone. Notice that tone isn't about what the poem says. It's about the attitude behind how it's said. 2 more devices, and these are about feeling and exaggeration. Mood is the emotional atmosphere or feeling evoked in the reader by the poem. It can range from joyful to dark and ominous. For example, a poem describing a stormy night often creates a tense or eerie mood. Notice the difference from tone. Tone is the poet's attitude, but mood is what the reader feels while reading. A poet can have a calm tone while still creating a tense mood, depending on what's being described. Then there's hyperbole, an extreme exaggeration used for emphasis or effect, not meant to be taken literally. Example, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. Nobody actually means they'll eat a horse. It's exaggerated on purpose, to emphasize just how hungry they are. Our 10th and final device, onomatopoeia, a word that imitates the actual sound it represents. Example, the bees buzzed loudly in the garden. Say the word buzzed out loud. Doesn't it actually sound like a bee? That's onomatopoeia. The word itself is the sound. And just like that, we've covered all 10 literary devices: imagery, simile, metaphor, personification, symbolism, rhyme, alliteration, tone, mood, hyperbole, and onomatopoeia. Let's do a rapid recall. I'll say a definition. You shout out the device before I do. Ready? A word that imitates a sound. That's onomatopoeia. A comparison using like or as. That's a simile, giving human qualities to non-human things. Personification. Repetition of similar sounds at line ends. Rhyme. Nicely done. You've got this. Now let's practice together using 3 real lines. I'll read each line, and I want you to guess the literary device before I confirm it. Here's line 1, from the poem The Sea by Natividad Marquez. Why does the sun laugh, mother, as it glints beneath the sun? What device is this? That's right. The sun doesn't actually laugh. That's a human action given to something non-human. This is personification. Line 2. The thunder grumbled like an old man. Any guesses? This one uses the word like to compare thunder to an old man. That makes it a simile. And line 3. Blippi sells seashells by the seashore. Listen to how many words start with that same S sound. That repeated consonant sound at the start of nearby words is alliteration. Now it's time to meet the poem we'll be analyzing today. A poem that has no title, written by our own national hero, Jose P. Rizal. Rizal wrote this poem as a heartfelt address to God, reflecting on gratitude, identity, and purpose in life. As we read it together, we're going to look for the general truths and convictions about life that Rizal expresses. Remember, we're treasure hunters, and this poem is full of gems. Let's read the opening lines together. To my Creator I sing, who did soothe me in my great loss. To the merciful and kind, who in my troubles gave me repose. Even from these first lines, notice the tone, reverent and thankful, exactly the kind of tone we talked about earlier. Rizal isn't just describing God, he's speaking directly to him. In class, this next activity is usually done with a partner. It's called a dyadic exchange. Since it's just the two of us right now, you and me, let's do this as a guided reading, and I'll ask you to pause and reflect after each set. Now let's think through our 3 guide questions together. First, what was the writer's condition or state when speaking? How did he describe God? Pause here and jot your answer. Second, what sound device appears in set 3? What do you notice about how those lines sound? Third, what kind of soul and gifts did the Lord give the writer, according to set 3 and set 4? Write your own short answers to these 3 questions in your notebook, or share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to read how you connect with these lines. Let's check your understanding with 4 quick items. For each one, I'll read the line and the 3 choices, then give you time to decide before I reveal the answer on the next slide. Item 1. The stars danced playfully in the moonlit sky. Is this A. Simile, B. Personification, or C. Rhyme? Pause and choose your answer now. Item 2. He was so tired he could have slept for 1,000 years. Is this A. Hyperbole, B. Imagery, or C. Symbolism? Pause and choose. Item 3. The fresh, juicy oranges were cold and sweet. Is this A. Metaphor, B. Imagery, or C. Alliteration? Pause and choose. And item 4. The car engine roared to life. Is this A. Onomatopoeia, B. Tone, or C. Mood? Pause and choose your final answer. Write down your 4 answers, A, B, or C for each. Let's go through the answers together. Item 1. The correct answer is personification. Stars can't really dance. That's a human action given to a non-human thing. Item 2. The correct answer is hyperbole. No one can really sleep for 1,000 years. It's an extreme exaggeration. Item 3. The correct answer is imagery. The words fresh, juicy, cold, sweet appeal to our sense of taste and touch. And item 4. The correct answer is onomatopoeia. The word roared imitates the actual sound of the engine. How many did you get right? If you got all 4, congratulations. You are officially reading like a treasure hunter now. If you missed 1 or 2, that's completely okay. Go back and rewatch the device that tripped you up, because we'll use all of these again very soon. Now it's your turn to create something. Using a poem that has no title, you're going to create a one-pagers, a single sheet of bond paper that combines text and illustrations to show the literary devices you found in the poem. Here's what you'll need: an individual copy of the poem, pens or markers, a sheet of bond paper, and any coloring or arts and crafts materials you have at home. And here's what your one-pager needs to include: the poem's mood, its tone, at least one figure of speech you can identify, and an example of rhyme from the text. As a bonus challenge, I also want you thinking about this. How does the poem show organic unity? Meaning, how do all its parts work together toward one central idea or feeling? Take your time with this one. Pause the video now. In a physical classroom, we display everyone's one-pagers around the room for a gallery walk. Since we're on YouTube, here's our version. Once your one-pager is done, take a photo of it and share it in the comments below, or tag our page if you're posting it on social media. I love seeing your work, and so do other students learning along with you. Before we wrap up, let's do a quick reflection I call Blast Off Insights. Think of 3 things you learned today, 2 things you're still curious about, and 1 question you still have. And here are 2 questions for you to think about, or to answer in the comments. What do you think will be similar across different students' one-pagers? And what creative choices do you think will stand out, and why? Let's recap what we learned today. Literary devices are the tools poets use to add imagery, feeling, and meaning to their words. Today, you learned to identify 10 of them: imagery, simile, metaphor, personification, symbolism, rhyme, alliteration, tone, mood, hyperbole, and onomatopoeia. And you used that skill to uncover the truths in José Rizal's poem. Next time, we'll continue our journey into Philippine literature, so keep that treasure hunting mindset ready. There's more to discover. Before we close, let's do one final check. 5 true or false statements. 1. Tone in poetry can be conveyed through word choice, imagery, syntax, and overall style. 2. Mood refers to the emotional atmosphere or feeling evoked in the reader by the poem. 3. Personification involves giving human characteristics to non-human objects, animals, or ideas. 4. Symbolism refers to using objects, colors, or elements to represent deeper meanings. 5. Rhyme is the repetition of similar sounds, usually at the ends of lines. Here's a hint before you check your work. Every single one of these statements is true. If you marked all 5 as true. If you marked all 5 as true, wonderful. That means everything we discussed today has truly stuck with you. Great work today, young treasure hunters. You started this lesson learning 10 new tools, and you ended it using every single one of them to understand a poem written by José Rizal himself. That is real, meaningful learning, and I'm proud of you. Keep reading poems with a keen mind and sharp eyes because there is always another treasure waiting in the next poem you open. If this lesson helped you, please give it a like, leave your one-pager or your favorite line from Rizal's poem in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss our next lesson in Philippine literature. Until then, happy treasure hunting, and take care.